The BodyArmor Pro Series is down to 7 races remaining until we crown a champion on Christmas Eve at the Homestead Miami Speedway. Tonight begins a stretch of a race a week here in the month of November, and we're going to have a lot of fun in these last 7 events of the season for the 2025 BodyArmor Pro Series. This here is a traditional Pro Series race. The first Herr Speedfest took place over 10 years ago. We're back here at the Zen Jotlis Megaspeedway, a 5-mile square-shaped super speedway. And we're going to see ourselves some wild racing here today, as it's the 19th race of the season in the 2025 BodyArmor Pro Series. This is Herr Speedfest. Hello everybody, this is AG here, and welcome to the Zen Jotlis Megaspeedway. I believe this is canonically in Truth or Consequences, New Mexico. I really don't know about that. All I know is that this is not a real racetrack, but we have come here in the Pro Series for many of the seasons, since the very first Pro Series all the way back in 2015. So we're excited to get this one going here today. 5 laps, 5 laps, and 5 laps. It's a 15-lap race, but we do have staged cautions, and I know that's a big deal, and I know NASCAR's in a complete mess because of all the stupid things they do. Well, we choose to be stupid, and you accept it here, and we're going to have a lot of fun regardless of the fact. That's what we're here for. Journaling Sata Guy is going to be in this race, and couldn't get any of the people who were not in this race to call with me here tonight, so we got Nathan Stapleton in the booth here. And you've never called a race here at Zen Jotlis before, so I know you're excited to see how this all shakes out, but at the same point in time, you start 4th for this race, so as a driver, what are you expecting to see here today, and how do you think this race is going to play out here at Zen Jotlis?
Well, from what I remember last time we were here in the series at Zen Jotlis, this track is very wild, very chaotic, and this is a very goofy racetrack and a goofy race here today, like you were saying. 5-5-5 for the stages and no caution, so if you wet, you gotta try and somehow stay on the lead lap. So it's gonna be very interesting. Hopefully I'm one of them that make it to that 5th and final, well, 3rd and final 5-lap segment, but we gotta see what ends up happening. This is a super speedway at the end of the day, so gotta be good in the draft, and we gotta see what ends up going down for 5 laps in each segment on this wild 5-mile square racetrack.
Yeah, with that, today's race is going to be just about 75 miles. The official length of the racetrack, I believe, is 4.92 miles, so it's not fully 5 miles in length. But regardless of the fact, it's going to be a very chaotic race here today, and it is anybody's race to win. Of course, starting lineup determined by the fastest lap at our last race from Talladega, Double-Decker race number 2. Jack Haas is going to start on the pole position. This racetrack, in a way, is a bigger version of the M&M Super Speedway, where the Christmas Eve Showdown is held, and we all know what happened in that race a year ago. Was Jack Haas looking to get his first win of the season here in the Pro Series, all the way back to 21st in points. Atop the points is the driver right behind him, Blaine Keys, but he is slowly losing a bit of ground in this championship. He's only 46 points ahead of Royal Dorn right now. 7 races left to go, 2 race victories from Rogel Dorn, and no points for Blaine Keys, and Rogel's your new points leader. So it can turn on a dime just like that. And this is one of those racetracks that's a huge wild card. And of course, 3 weeks from now, we got the Coca-Cola Super Speedway, which is another huge wild card. So Blaine's got to be very careful here today. And hope that Rogel Dorn, hope that Ludovic Charette do not gain any points on him, because Ludovic Charette as well could win the next 2 races. Blaine fails to point, and Ludovic would be the new points leader. She's only 49 points behind. Stuart Cratton, 71 points behind, and Leonard Kochmer's had a very consistent season. No wins for Kochmer so far, and as a matter of fact, he's the only driver top 9 in the point standings who has gone to get to go to victory lane this season. He's 84 points behind coming into this one here from Zen Jotlis. Going to go ahead and get these drivers to roll off here at the Mega Speedway. And of course, it's Jack Haas starting on the pole position in the number 57, 21st in the championship standings. It's not been a good season for Jack in that number 57 machine, but great opportunity for him to finally push through, get a race victory. You got Audra Baranowskis alongside him there in row number 1. Blaine Keys. And there you are, Nathan, there in the 4th position. You know, we're doing the Thanksgiving 500 thing where you're announcing and driving at the same time, and it usually doesn't work out too well for some folks when that happens. And Ace Garcia is going to be starting alongside Drew Webb there in row number 3. Lauren Martinez and Thomas Troxel will make up row number 4. And then it's Isaac Nichols and Justin Zeidel rounding up the top 10 starting positions. Rogel Dorn starting on the inside lane there in the 13th position. Ludovic starting all the way in the back, but where you start really does not matter at this racetrack. And the big reason for that is there's a good chance we may see a huge wreck on the first lap of this race that wipes out possibly half of the field. So Nathan, with all that in mind, who do you think is going to get the race victory here today? Who do you think is going to survive and have an opportunity to go into victory lane maybe for the first time this season here in the BodyArmor Pro Series?
Well, you say oh, maybe someone can get the first win on the scene. And I kind of like that. This is a unpredictable racetrack. I'm just going to throw dirt, and I'm going to say Aldo Baranowskis is going to survive and win here today.
Well, she did win the in-season tournament back in the spring at Indianapolis. That's her only highlight of the season. Only 20 total points on the year for Audra Baranowskis. Not even a race win full worth of points. 18 races into this season. Of course, LJ Semedo only 6 total points on the year for Semedo is the lowest driver in the standings. But the beautiful thing about a racetrack such as this is that it is, in fact, a great equalizer. And we're going to have to see who ends up finding themselves in the right position. It's going to be very interesting to see if Blaine Keys, Rolador, and Ludovic Trek can move on from what we would anticipate being a big wreck early on in this race. If they can get out of that alive and have an opportunity of winning, Blaine could very much have a very comfortable opportunity at winning this title once this race is done. But if it goes the other way, Rogel Dorn gets the race victory, Ludovic Shrek gets the race victory, and Blaine doesn't get anything, we're going to have ourselves a championship battle here in these last few races of the 2025 season. Pace car is going to pull down, Jack Haas and Audra Baranowskis on the front row, and it is the biggest oval racetrack we go to all season. It's Herr's Speedfest here from Zen Jotlis. So already, a massively chaotic start to this race. Blaine Keys in the number 14 trying to work his way to the inside, and we're going to see some 5-wide action here in turn number 2. And Nathan, you're up in the wall right there. Not exactly where you want to be at this point in the race, but for now, somehow, they keep it together. But I don't know if they're going to be able to keep this for long. But Blaine Keys is in a great position out front here at Zen Joltis here in stage 1, lap number 1.
Well, you know, my AI right there is doing what I like to do on NASCAR games, ride the wall, but that's not gonna work out here. But maybe just deciding to chill out and wait for them to it, because they are going 4 and 5 wide, you know, lap number 1. This is a wild racetrack for me, never calling a race here. And like I said, anyone is gonna have a shot to win, and we're seeing as we might go 3 and 4 wide for the race lead.
Nicholas Samadillo taking Mr. Edge name very seriously. And there we go, and in the wall goes Logan Williams, and that was a head-on hit for Williams there, and sorry, buddy, you got caught up in that one. As long as you stay on the lead lap, though, which is possible to keep that thing going, you'll still have a shot. Logan Williams is going to be done. Drew Webb and LJ Semedo. Such a shame for LJ there. Has not had a good run all season. And another one. We got Sergio Alonso there with Ace Garcia. And more contact up front. And Blaine Keys is caught up in this one. And they're all getting caught up here on lap number 2. And Blaine Keys is going to have significant damage.
And that's big for the point standings, possibly.
That is massive for the point standings. So many guys caught up in that one. They were just so close to each other. This actually may work out in your favor there because you're still out there, Nathan, and as long as you stay on the lead lap, you're going to continue on in this race. You got Matt Tuck leading the field. Isaac Nichols, Stuart Gradden, Rogel Dorn got out of that one. So did Justin Zeidel, Vinny Scholes, Carson Miller, Audra Baranowskis, Matthew Hubert. All you got to do is stay on the lead lap. I don't think Blaine Keys is going to be able to stay on the lead lap. That thing is destroyed, and this is the big wild card of this race that we see each and every year we do it. Definitely going to be wild as we move on throughout this event. But those who did not get caught up in the accident, they can breathe easy at this point. They know they're probably going to be advancing on because they're way too far away from each other to really get involved in anything. But the big question is, who's going to remain on the lead lap in these next 3 laps? Because if you don't remain, you're done. You're done, dude. So that's why you don't call a race and race at the same time. That's what always happens.
Yeah, I think some of these drivers, including my AI, ran into the back of some of these slower cars, and that's kind of what I was feeling, and this is something I've not really seen here on the speedways on this game. It is so spread out, but look at this 5-car pet with a huge one closing in fast from Matt Tuck, and Matt Tuck is not in the lead entering this corner here.
Yeah, he was a sitting duck right there, trying to avoid all this from transpiring. Isaac Nichols still out front, now out front I should say, and his teammate there, Vinny Scholes. This Vinny Scholes has had a bit of a rough season here. 19th in the standings for her, and only 46 total points, but an opportunity to race victory. Justin Seidel going for his 2nd win of the season. Here he is in the 3rd position, battling with Matt Tuck. You got Stuart Gratton, who actually has some damage to his car right there, but he is still going on, and Rogodorin as well. Baranowskis, Carson Miller, Matthew Hubert all still in this thing. Ludovic Charette still in this thing as well. So those are 2 of the drivers that are chasing Blaine Keys in this championship. But Blaine is going to try to stay. No, he actually is coming down the pit lane right here. Pit lane is actually past the start-finish line here at Zen Jotlis. And it looks like he will fail to remain on the lead lap. So Sam Medeo going to be knocked out. Stapleton going to be knocked out. Ace Garcia, Lauren Martinez, Juan Romero. LJ Cimento still hanging on. Barely onto the lead lap right now. Out of the race right now include Drew Webb and Logan Williams. And there you go. All those guys going to end up a lap down. So Blaine is going to be out of this race. And both Rogodorin and Ludovic Charette are going to have an opportunity in these later stages to have an opportunity at really closing in and having an opportunity at this championship here in the Pro Series. 2 laps to go here in stage number 1 of Herr's Speedfest at Zen Jotlis. And it's Vinny Scholes out front in the 64.
And you know, I kind of had that feeling that we were going to have some championship implications today, and unfortunately here in stage 1 that's going to be the case, and that's going to be huge for this championship, because now Ludovic Charette and Rogodorin still have a chance at getting some points here today, and it's guaranteed that it's going to be a 0 in the points column here at Zen Jotlis, but someone wants to win stage 1 here. And we gotta see if who ends up getting it with these top 6.
Well, I will say there are no stage points. So, it really doesn't matter where you finish, because they're just going to rack them back up again and going to be all over the place in stage 2. And Rogodorin trying to get to the outside of Isaac Nichols right there. Vinny Scholes in the lead, taking the white flag in stage number 1 here at Zen Jotlis. Got Audrey Baranowskis, Matthew Hubert, Carson Miller, all in a line there. They kind of just avoided that accident. Jack Haas is still on the lead lap right now. Looks like we got everyone up, down to LJ Cimento, who's going to be remaining on the lead lap right here. LJ Cimento's going to be close with Cimento. I think he's in turn number 3 right now. These guys are in turn number 4, so as long as he gets to the line before Vinny Scholes and all these guys catch up to him, he will remain on the lead lap and be in stage number 2, still have a shot at this race victory.
Gonna be close for Cimento there, and you gotta see what ends up happening. Technically, no one is a lap down. Everyone that is kind of a lap down is in the garage from what I saw. So, technically, no one a lap down, but a great job from the number 64 Vinny Scholes, trying to hang on, and I believe would start 2nd for the 2nd stage. So it's going to be a scene of how that all plays out. Matt Tuck as well. And just as Rogodorin is in a really good shape, because right now there's only 15 cars here on the racetrack, so that's a really good chance at getting points for local here today.
Well, stage 1's going to go to Vinny Scholes in the 64. Looking for a first win of the season here in the BodyArmor Pro Series. It'll actually be Brennan Wilmington in the series next year, since he won the Indianapolis 250, so this is going to be Vinny's last shot and last run here in the Pro Series, at least for now. But a 1-2 for Ludovic Charette's team there, who has not really had a successful run as an owner here. She's 3rd in this championship standings, still going to be in this race in the 00 machine. And LJ Cimento will, in fact, remain on the lead lap here, which is definitely a big saving grace for him, trying to get his first points all season for the most part. Only 1 race that he has pointed And that was, I don't even remember what race that was where he got points, but he has not gotten any points this season, with the exception of the 6 points that he got in a race that I don't remember, because that was probably 11 months ago when we did that race. How about Vinny Schulz, though? Winning stage 1 here at Zen Jotlis. Isaac Nichols, Justice Adel, Rogodorn, and Matt Tuck. That's how they'll line up for stage number 2. You're going to see the official standings for stage number 1 right there. So everybody from LJ Semedo on up is going to remain in this race. Thomas Troxel, Juan Romero, Lauren Martinez, Ace Garcia, Nathan Stapleton, Nicholas Samedillo. Lane Keys is out of this race. Drew Webb and Logan Williams. That's going to be it for them, and they will not have an opportunity at getting any points here today, and this is going to play right into the favor of Rogodorn and Ladovic Shred in terms of this championship. They're going to continue on here as we move on to stage number 2. So all those replays in the corner of your screen as they happened. I'm going to go record them, and then we're going to set the starting lineup here for stage number 2 and continue on with Herr Speedfest from Zen Jotlis. And here we are, ready for stage number 2 of Herr's Speedfest, and it's Vinny Schulz, Isaac Nichols on the front row, Justice Idell, Rogodorn, Matt Tuck, Stuart Grattan, Audrey Baranowskis, and Carson Miller. Of course, we're going to have ourselves 5 more laps, and then whoever's still on the lead lap after this stage will race in the final stage for the race victory and the 25 points towards the BodyArmor Pro Series Championship. And that's big for Rogodorn and Ladovic Shred, who are still in this race. Blaine Keys, of course, is out. I would like to apologize, I did not capture the fastest lap. I did not show you guys the fastest lap at the end of the first stage. But hopefully you've known me long enough to know that I am an honest American citizen and will truthfully put the starting lineup accurately for our next race. So I'm sorry I didn't show that. We'll make sure we show, well, if no one gets knocked out in this stage, I won't need to show it because it'll be stage 3 that determines the starting lineup for the next race. All right, Nathan, you're out of the race car now. You're wrecked. Now you can call this race as it is. How do you think this stage is going to go after what we saw in stage number 1?
Well, based off of the carnage that we saw, I would not expect anything less. And maybe, you know, I can't wreck anymore, and I can't do double dip and commentate and race at the same time. But we are underway for stage number 2. Another 5 laps, and we will see with only 15 colors instead of 24. Maybe we can calm it down a little bit, but why when I say it, only 3 and 4 are throughout the 15 color grid that is left after stage 1.
There's a lot of drivers in this race who have not gone to victory lane this season, like Audrey Baranowskis, like LJ Semedo, Jack Haas, Alonso there, Leonard Kochmer, Vinny Schulz, and of course Matthew Hubert as well. Matthew Hubert putting the bumper to Matt Tuck as they exit turn number 2. That is wild stuff right there. And even though there's only... Oh, and a Carson Miller's going to go around there off the outside. And another wreck here. Matt Tuck's caught up in this one. Same with Stuart Grattan and Audra Baranowskis with damage as well. Rogodorn had a piece of that, but it looks like he's going to be all right. And no major contact. Nobody getting horrendous damage, but we'll have to see who can continue on after that accident. That was a bit of a shock right there. That was before they entered the turn. It looks like Carson Miller got squeezed up, and that caused another wreck here at Zen Jotlis. These guys are just going nuts here today at Zen Jotlis Megaspeedway, and Vinny Schulz still out front in the number 64. She's going to lead the first lap of stage 2.
Well, they don't call this track the Megaspeedway for nothing, I guess, and you gotta see how it all goes down, and this is exactly what happened to me in that first segment. Was just fine after the first wet for the most part, but ran into the back of Ace Garcia and my day was done. So the local has to be very careful about that. But like I said, not a lot of major contact, so if they can just survive for 2.5 laps or so, then they can have a shot at stage 3. But this is not what I was expecting, but I shouldn't have expected anything less. This series is always goofy, but you know who's loving it is Vinny Schulz. Won stage 1, and it's dominating stage 2.
She's actually led the most laps so far in this race. 3 of the 6 laps that have been run up to this point. And once you get single file like this, it's actually difficult to make those passes work, and Vinny Schulz has actually been up there controlling this race. Very impressive to see right there. I think we kind of dodged a bullet with eliminating a lot of drivers. It looks like Baranowskis may end up being the only one who goes a lap down. A lot of damage on that one machine, but the other 14 drivers still in this race. Still looking to have an opportunity at winning here in Herr Speedfest. I forget which one this is. Herr Speedfest 5, I think, but we kind of stopped counting because we don't technically do this every season. But we do still count Dirt Extreme. That's the other goofy race that we do here. And Ludovic Charette is still in this thing as well. She's 49 points behind Blaine Keys, and there's a very good chance that this title could go down to the wire at Homestead on Christmas Eve between Rogaldorn, Blaine Keys, and Ludovic Charette. Wouldn't that be something? Because those were three of the best drivers in the Wall Wall Cup Series a year ago. Of course, Blaine has had some success here in 2025. He is now the all-time winningest driver on the channel. But Rogaldorn and Ludovic Charette were definitely very, very tough drivers to beat in the 2024 Wall Wall Cup Series. Of course, Ludovic Charette, the 2024 champion in the Wall Wall Cup Series, and Rogaldorn had a lot of wins there. Did not have a good season last year, but Rogel's going to be driving for Ludovic in 2026 in the Wall Wall Cup Series, and you know that is going to be a very, very tough driver and owner combination to beat next year. Looking forward to seeing how that ends up shaking out, but Rogel has dominated a lot of these races and has started to really move his way up in these standings, and he's still very much in contention here, even though he got caught up in that wreck. As long as he keeps it on the lead lap, he's going to have a shot at getting this win, getting some points, and closing in even closer on Blaine Keys heading into these last 6 races of the season.
Absolutely, and I do agree. I think if stuff keeps on happening to Blaine Keys and Rogel and Ludovic get points today, then that's going to really tighten up the points, and I gotta agree. If things get really goofy towards the end of the season, it could be a 3-way fight for that title at Homestead at the end of the year. And speaking of, not really the end of the year, but the end of the stage, Matthew Hubert's been making some moves in that 15 machine, and he's trying to get around. Then he shows he's been dominant up to this point. Seidel to the outside, and here comes Alonso in the number 23 on the move. One of these 4 will start on pole for that 3rd and final stage here today.
And of course, we've seen Vinny Scholes essentially lead every single lap here in stage number 2, so maybe winning the pole is a good omen for the last stage based on what we've seen here. But Matthew Hubert got around Justin Seidel. This 15 machine's got a lot of speed in it.
Here we go.
And there goes Hubert to the inside for the race lead here on lap number 4 of 5 in stage number 2. Don't count out Alonso either, and Justin actually getting a run on the outside lane. They may go 3 wide for the race lead. Not enough momentum for the 86. But Matthew Huber going to take the white flag in stage number 2 right here at Zen Jotlis. Last year, by the way, I think we had a dead heat at the line in one of the stages, if I'm not mistaken. I know we had a very close finish in one of the stages. Did not get side-by-side in stage 1. We may get side-by-side here in stage 2, however.
I remember that one. We had a couple of close finishes in these stages in the Speedfest last season. We might see another close one here. Alonso, I thought he was just going to bump himself and Hubert out front to massive lead, but here comes Vinny Scholes again to the inside. This might open up the door for Matthew Hubert to just control the race lead and win stage 2 here. But Vinny wants that lead back.
Vinny's got a huge run right here, and this is what's going on. He can't really make the pass on the outside here. It's just the longer way around the racetrack, and it's such a big racetrack that the grip lines are pretty much equal all throughout. But Vinny got a huge run off the exit of turn 3. And she's got some help from Justin Seidel. She had some help from Justin Seidel, but Justin's going up to help Matthew Hubert. Alonso a little ways back. And now Justin trying to go 3 wide again on the outside lane. This is going to be tight. Hubert might be able to get a run here on the outside lane, but it's not going to be enough. It's Vinny Scholes again, winning stage number 2 after she won stage number 3. Looking to sweep the stages here in Herr Speedfest. Ludovic Charette's going to start 5th in stage number 3. Leonard Kochmer will start 6th. You'll still have Stuart Gradden, Izzy Nichols, Rogaldorn in the race. Andrew Miller, Jack Kaz, Matt Tuck, LJ Semedo, and Carson Miller will remain on the lead lap and go for a win here at Zen Jotlis, looking for his 2nd win of the season, third win of the season. Carson Miller won one of the Talladega races a month ago. That was Definitely a wild moment for him right there. He's been very good on these super speedways, so watch out for him, even though he caused that accident. Well. You see right there, everyone but Audrey Baranowska is going to be racing in the final stage, and of course only the top 10 finishers receive championship points. But Nathan, you gotta feel good about Vinnie Scholes and what she's been able to do so far here in this one. Has led most of the laps in this race and has won both stages. Do you think she's got a good shot at getting this Herr Speedfest race victory for her first win of the season?
I honestly do. At the start of the day, I said that someone was going to get the first win on the season, and well, right now, if that ends up being the case for Vinnie Scholes, that will be basically what I was saying. My pit was Audrey Baranowska's, and the saber chains went into full effect, and it's going to be done. So, really sorry about that, but we still have some drivers going to get the first win. And I do think that part of it will happen, but you gotta see if anyone can beat Vinnie Scholes. Has won stage 1, has won stage 2, trying to win all 3 stages here in Herr Speedfest in 2025.
We'll have to see if she can do it. That'd be quite an impressive feat if she were able to sweep the stages. I don't think it's ever been done before in this race in the few times we've run it. So Vinnie's got a shot right here. We'll see what she can do. Let's get on to stage number 3, the final stage, here in Herr Speedfest from Zen Jotlis. Alright, here we go for stage 3. This is for the win here in Herr Speedfest from Zen Jotlis, and it's Vinnie Scholes who's led the most laps in this race. She led 2 laps in stage 1, 4 laps in stage 2. That's 6 of the 10 laps so far. If she leads the last one, lap 15, she's going to get 25 points towards the championship. But a huge opportunity for a lot of these drivers in this field. Of course, you got Matthew Hubert there starting alongside her. Justin Zeidel, Herr Alonso in row number 2. Ludovic Schret, Leonard Kochmer in row number 3. Stuart Grattan, Isa Nichols in row number 4. Rogel Dorn and Andrew Miller in row 5. Jack Kaz, Matt Tuck in row number 6. LJ Semedo and Carson Miller round out the 14-car field for this 5-lap fight to the finish. Who is your pick to win, Nathan? I forget.
It was Audrey Baranowska's.
Alright, well, not going to be Audrey Baranowska's winning this, but I know you picked someone who hasn't won yet this season. There are quite a few drivers still left who have yet to win this season. As a matter of fact, top 4 on that outside lane have all yet to go to victory lane here in 2025 in the BodyArmor Pro Series. And so has the pole sitter for this race, Vinnie Scholes, in the number 64. Here we go for the final stage. The clouds have rolled over here at Zen Jotlis Megaspeedway, and it's 5 laps for the win here in the BodyArmor Pro Series.
14 cars remain, and a lot of them looking for the first win. I know I didn't get my pit right with Audrey Baranowska's, but I do think that we will have a new winner on the scene here today, and it might just be Vinnie Scholes, another great start out for him. We gotta watch out. These guys get very aggressive early on. We've seen a wreck on lap 2, and we've seen a wreck on lap number 1 here already for these stages, and you gotta see how it all goes down. But this is the money stage for especially Rogel Dorn and Ludovic Schret. They need to get as many points as possible. They only need to finish above 4 cars to get points here today.
Absolutely, and of course they would be remiss not to get anything here in this one because they know it's a huge opportunity to close in on this title. How about Justin Zeidel looking to get his 2nd win of the season? Won at Watkins Glen back in June. And hasn't really been the best of seasons, but he is 11th in the standings. It's been an honorable season for Justin Zeidel here in the Pro Series, at least much more than it was in the Cup Series. But these guys are fanning out all over the place, and here comes Matt Tuck, who's still in this thing. Andrew Miller going for his 3rd win of the season, still in this thing. Carson Miller going for his 3rd win, still in this thing. Leonard Kochmer going for his 1st win, trying to close up in the points. He still mathematically has a decent chance at this title if things really get crazy these last 6 races after today. Matt Tuck's going to lead that lap. They're scrambling just all over the place, as it looks like Ludovic and Justin in the outside wall, and Justin's really in the outside wall. He's going to lose some momentum here as we're on lap number 2.
Gotta be careful for Justin to try and stay into the lead pack, and all of a sudden Vinnie Scholes has disappeared, and it is Andrew Miller trying to get another win on the record books here in this season. And we got the number 21 customer. It's the Miller and Miller show up front here on lap 2, and I almost put Leonard Koshmer here when the stage started, and he's up to third, trying to get win number 1 on the season. I think someone's going to get the first win, and it might just be Leonard Koshmer here in this one.
And of course, of all the drivers who have yet to get a race victory this season, Leonard Koshmer is highest in the championship standings, 105 total points in the year. He'll close in on Blaine if he gets points here today, but still going to be a little ways behind, especially if Rogel and Ladovic close up on the Blaine Keys in this one. And hey, Stuart Gratton's also kind of up there as well, 71 points behind. If he wins this race, that's going to put him within 2 race wins worth of points on Blaine Keys. For Stuart, got a win earlier this season at Hillside. That's his only win so far, but he's still very much in contention. All these guys still very much in contention, maybe with the exception at this point of Justin, because he has lost the draft, and you need that at a place such as this. But I think you mentioned the Miller and Miller show up front. Maybe I was just thinking it, but it is the Miller and Miller show up front right now, with Andrew leading ahead of Carson. Rogeldorn up to the 3rd position, looking for his 4th win of the season here in the Pro Series. And LJ Semedo just trying to get some darn points. Only 6 total points on the year. Here he is in the top 5, looking for a win here at Zen Jotlis. He's got a shot at doing so. Here comes Jack Haas to the inside of Vinny and Isaac Nichols, but it's still Andrew Miller out front here at Zen Jotlis.
And remember, stage 1, I believe, Semedo was the last one on the racetrack trying to survive and not be lapped down. He did survive and now has a chance at the race win. Cosmo into outside wall. These guys really gain into outside wall with the more grip. They're going ridiculously faster here in this third and final stage. 2 laps to go. This time by at the line. Matt Tuck on the move, and right now, how about local Dorn? It's going to be a huge chunk of change, along with Ladovic Shred with 2 laps to go in the point standings.
Yeah, it looks like Jack has lost the draft right here, and so has Carson Miller. Miller a little ways behind. They might be able to hold on, but time is running out for those guys in the back of the field. And how about Rogeldorn finding himself in prime position to get a race victory? And if he were to win this race, he would be within a race win worth of points of Blaine Keys in this title with 6 races left to go. And just keep in mind, Blaine Keys at one point had a near 80-point lead in the series. And that has continuously shrunk down as the season has gone along. But here comes Matt Tuck trying to get his 2nd win of the season. Got Aguas Calientes back in March. And he's got a huge opportunity here, but he's going to get to the outside lane, and that's not going to be the move you want to make at this point, but he might get some momentum right here. Still on the outside there of Andrew Miller for the race lead.
And remember last year with the Speedfest, we saw a bunch of close racing and a lot of close stage finishes. And we should have a big enough pat. This is the biggest pat we've had at the end of a stage yet, so we gotta see if we can get the job done. We still have, I want to say, about 11 cars here, maybe 12, so still got a lot. It's the final lap of a chaotic Speedfest here in 2025, and Matt Tuck is up front, but Miller, and here is Vinny back up to the front when it matters most on the final lap.
How about that move by Matt Tucker on the outside lane to take the race lead away from Andrew Miller? That was such a clutch move right there to take this race lead away. Both Ladovic and Rogeldorn stuck on the outside lane, slipping back. This is exactly what Blaine Keys wants to see. This race is far from over. Vinny Scholes is trying to close in. Gonna be able to hang on to that inside lane, and she's gonna get some momentum here. Maybe a push from Stuart Gratton, who still has an opportunity at this race victory as well. Stewart's gonna go outside lane right there off the exit at turn number 3. It's one more corner left to go. Vinny's gonna have to make a move right here if she's gonna have a shot. Stewart back to the inside of Vinny Scholes. Will Stewart get enough momentum on Matt Tuck and have a shot at getting it across the line? Stewart's gonna try the outside lane going into the front stretch. Will he have enough momentum? He will not. Matt Tuck, in the number 54, is going to get his 2nd win of the season here in the BodyArmor Pro Series and wins her Speedfest. And neither Rogeldorn nor Ladovic Charette will receive any points in this race as they finish outside the top 10. What a saving grace there for Blaine Keys in this championship fight in the BodyArmor Pro Series. But Matt Tuck gets it done as a driver here today at Zen Jotlis Megaspeedway.
One more turn, and things could have gone very interesting, but still got a kind of a crossover move down the front stretch for the final time, and almost got there. So one more turn, or maybe if it was made a little bit sooner, then maybe Stewart would have had the one. Still a great one for Stewart. And today was a massive opportunity for Local and Ladova, and they fumbled the bag fairly late. And the good thing for Stewart, though, like he says, still has a chance at this title, and that's going to help him massively here late in the going. We could have a four-way battle for this championship now if things get really wild in the next 5 races. But what a win, and what a goofy race. But that was by far stage 3 was the most calm, and still had a lot of great action. But Matt Tuck proved me wrong. I thought it was going to be someone getting the first win of the season. That's not going to be the case here today, as he gets win number 2 of the BodyArmor Pro Series season.
There's a reason why we run this race the way that we do. We anticipate a big wreck happening when we have all 24 cars in the racetrack. We whittle it down so that this final stage, they can just go all out for the race win, and that's what they did. And what a fun way to end this race here from Zen Jotlis, and Matt Tuck gets it done here. Ladovic Shred's going to start on pole at Rockingham Motor Speedway next week. Rockingham, UK. That was a race that was supposed to be done back in July, but we moved it to November. We're excited for that one, though. Stuart Gregg going to be outside pole, and Matt Tuck going to start 3rd for that race, and it could get very interesting. You got Roland Lawrence starting 6th. Blaine's going to start deep in the field, of course, because he wrecked out in that first stage. Take a look at the rest of the fastest laps there from the 3rd stage, and Audrey Baranowskis will start 15th, and then just trust me, bro. Just trust me, bro, on the rest of the starting lineup for that one next week. Matt Tuck with his 2nd win of the season in the BodyArmor Pro Series, ahead of Stuart Gratton, and Stuart's going to get a bunch of points here. And he's going to be up there. He's going to have a chance at this title in the Pro Series as well. Very good run for Stuart Gratton here today. Vinny Scholes, Herr Alonso, Andrew Miller, Carson Miller, Matthew Hubert. LJ Cimento got some points. Only the 2nd time he's gotten points all season. Isaac Nichols and Leonard Koshmer all receiving championship points. Ladovic Stratton and Roland Lauren fell to the back of the field at the end, and neither of them are getting championship points. So Blaine just dodged a bullet right there. And that could help him win this title come Christmas Eve. Gonna be close, though, because I really feel like the momentum is in Rogel's and Ladovic's favor coming into this point. We're just gonna have to see how it shakes out. But final thoughts on this one, Nathan. What a race here from Zen Jotlis, and Matt Tuck gets it done here in the 19th race of the season.
What a race indeed. And you know, I've only really seen this racetrack in the Pro Series format over the years, and this is a very interesting race. One of the more interesting races I've called, honestly, and it's gonna be interesting for this championship. With Local and Ladova getting 11th and 12th, and Blaine Keys DNFing in stage 1. And none of them got points today. Stewart got points though, and we gotta see how that all goes down at the very end of the year. And I think if just watch out, if something happens to Blaine Keys again, maybe once or twice in the final stretch of the season, we could have a 4-way battle at Homestead for the finale.
We definitely could. That'd be fun. Don't say 4-way battle for the championship, dude. I want that to be over. I really want that to be over. I am still reeling from Sunday. That was awful. And I know, hey, congrats to your man Kyle Larson for winning the title, but my goodness, that's just such an awful way for the season to end. But hey, we do it a real way over here. We do strict points. I know it's the F1 points format, but it's about consistency. It's about running well, and the whole season counts. And guess what? We started this season back in January, and we're still rolling. 6 more races left to go. We got ourselves Rockingham Motor Speedway next week. Week after that, we got the Atlanta Motor Speedway in the 2010 version of that, so that'll be a lot of fun. Then, Thanksgiving Eve, we got ourselves the Coca-Cola 100K, Coca-Cola Super Speedway. You know that one's going to be wild. Martinsville after that. We added Martinsville to the schedule. That's going to be a fun one for the last short track of the year. The Bend after that. You know how crazy that road course can be. and then the finale at the Homestead Miami Speedway on Christmas Eve. We'll see if see how it ends up shaking out once we get to that point. But I tell you, we've got a very unique schedule coming up here in these last 6 races for the Pro Series, and really, I feel that Stuart Gratton on up all have a really good shot, but Blaine Keys really dodged a bullet here today, and he's going to hold on to that 46-point lead going into our next race at Rockingham Motor Speedway. Thank you guys so much for watching here from Zen Jotlis. Congratulations to Matt Tuck on this race victory here in Herr's Speedfest, and we will see you guys next week from the Rockingham Motor Speedway for the Grand Prix of Great Britain, the 20th race of the 2025 BodyArmor Pro Series. Huge thanks to Nathan Stapleton for joining me here tonight, and I will see you guys later.